The thing is it feels like people are very quick to tell me what I'm doing wrong. And then when I say, hey, but you're doing this, the rebuttal is I don't actually cause trouble for the company, and thus it's okay for me to do it. And the only thing that I want to be able to feel like there isn't double standards is that we get together as a board and as the project managers, and we get together and we formulate what this is exactly, what we should and should not do in situations, and have everybody abide by those same guidelines. And when they do not do that, then we have those discussions and we work through it together as a group. That's the only thing that is missing out of this for me. And I'm not the only person that feels like this. Other people have basically pleaded and begged for us to get on the same page. When we were over at Senior Buns in the train station, and it was me, Mickey, and Benji, I started to get a little worked up towards the end of the conversation because I was like, guys, we cannot leave this circle without us being on the same page. But people were waiting for us to go through the survey and all this other stuff, and we weren't on the same page. We didn't have a unified voice to bring to the people that are underneath us. And that's what's missing. That's what we need. It will be healthier for us. It will be healthier for the company. And then everything will be, for the most part, black and white, what's wrong and what isn't. Obviously, there are nuances and there are situations in which things can be bent and things happen. I get that. But at the same time, to feel as though people are choosing to get upset over certain things depending on who's involved and not necessarily keeping it straight the whole way through and blatantly admitting to me that that is actually the case is hurtful. And it makes me feel like I don't know. It just makes me feel icky. Like I just want to feel like everybody is treated equally when it comes to bringing up issues. And this is the reason why the shit went down with Jan. She overstepped. She pushed me to my limit. I tried. I let it 3 times slide. I asked her to leave repeatedly. Benji said the reason why she didn't leave is because Benji was there and we didn't vote on her having to leave the premises. And that's the reason why she stayed. And I know I've been talking a lot, but I just want to give it to you straight and tell you exactly how it went down.
Yes. Breckers and I, it's no secret, we actually have a substantial amount of beef in history with the Foozes. This is true.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I did not know that.
That beef, though, it stems from pettiness. It's a beef of pettiness, of wit, of sniping at each other with childish insults. If anything, the way January maybe spoke to you, I take responsibility. She probably learned that from how she speaks to me. She is immature. She is selfish. She is in no way what anyone would think of as a, reasonable person to want to work with. She's a spoiled brat, a spoiled child.
18.
Well, I was just over there with Rami, and Rami, out of the blue, said, I heard you're beefing with January. Well, how are you beefing with an 18-year-old? And he started taking jabs at me because I'm beefing with an 18-year-old. And I proceeded to tell Rami, it doesn't matter how old you are. It's the things that come out of your mouth. Am I supposed to treat somebody differently because they're 18 or they're 86? I would. it
You
almost
treat them
like
no, but I didn't get to finish my point. You treat them differently because of who they are. So with all that being said, all of my beef with the Foozes that I've had, whether it be with January or her sister April, why would you shoot her over this?
why would I shoot Jan over this?
Why would you shoot January Foos?
I thought I made that very clear when I spoke for about 20 minutes. She continuously insinuated I hate women deeply.
As she does to me. She makes fun of my hairstyle. She makes fun of the way I dress. She constantly disrespects me. She tries to
Vicky,
scam me at every moment. Yet that
Mickey,
I take as a challenge of dealing with her as a Foos. She has
Mickey, I
her
can't.
valuable, things, but certainly I agree with you. She has an ego. She values herself way more. In fact, one of the things that she will come to realize is that the company gave her better options and better treatment than probably anybody in this city ever would. And if they do treat her better, they are absolutely spoiling her like the spoiled brat she is. But I would never shoot her.
Mickey, I can't go around because I'm close with you and you're gay. I can't go around and make gay jokes to people and insinuate things that may set off the wrong person. I have a relationship with you. I understand the boundaries in which I can and cannot interact with you. And something really hurt me deeply. And I made a statement. And I waited a significant amount of time and I let several comments go before I opted to do that. I just because she can joke with you about not liking women or because of your sexual orientation,
But it's
that
but
does
pause.
not,
It's not even about that. Ignoring all of that.
but
I
that
don't
was the
I-
argument that you were making to me, is that
No,
she
but-
does it with you as why she may have thought it was okay to do it with me.
The broader argument, though, is this, and it's not even about January. It is that for some reason, as we try to move forward, and we joke, are we a gang? Hashtag naughty. There is a mentality, whether we are wearing suits or not, in all of this, that myself, and especially Breckers, have tried to emphasize. And time again, we keep failing here. Why do we, any slight, whether real or perceived, why do we pull out a gun? And this is something that has changed me and was a part of who I am from 6-7 years ago that Perez even knows about. When from slights, real or perceived by Ray Romanoff, he shot me and took out my eye. Over words. Was I a piece of shit? Was I a snarky, absolute degenerate, continuously poking the bear in that situation? Of course. I mean, it's me. It's Mickey. We can't undo violence. You talk about visions for the company. That was the vision that I at least had. And maybe board members had different ideas around it. That's not to say that violence was never an option. But violence was not the correct option here. I need to process all that. I know that you actually... listen, I think you made some very valid points about the entirety of this. The board needing to be aligned. How we treat people, etc. How we look at various situations.
Correct. And I want to preface this by saying that I do agree that violence shouldn't be the first option or the second option. it should be basically a last option. I fully agree with that sentiment. Do I regret what I did? I regret the effects that it has. But the reality of it is, I felt very, very strongly about what was happening. And I feel like I was being made a mockery of in front of everybody as a board member. Somebody tried to manipulate me. They tried to take advantage of the situation. They tried to leverage. They were entitled. And it came from a contractor. And she doubled down and she tripled down. And it was in my heart that I had to do what I had to do to send a message that you do not get to speak to me like this. Even if you do speak to Mickey like that, I am not Mickey. There are boundaries. The boundaries were crossed. They were crossed again, and they were crossed 2 more times. In front of everybody, in front of our house. It set me off. And from the people that I spoke to, she is known to be like this. I do not know who she is. I do not have a friendship with her. I do not have a relationship with her. I am just going by how she treated me. And when I go out of my way to call her ma'am, yes ma'am, no ma'am, and I'm very hyper aware of my verbiage that I use, specifically with women in the city, that was it for me. And I hope you can respect that. I have no qualms on speaking with her, apologizing that it got to where it got. But at the same time,
I will tell you this. I know you in the sense that her levying that against you is a petty and immature response that she does against me. If anyone hates women, it's me. But I will tell you this. While I know you to be decent and honest with that regard, that this is your response to pull a gun and shoot someone over something like this?
over a label that's considered hate? Yes. Yes. If it was something that wasn't as serious, absolutely not. And I've shown that since for months now.
She is a child. She's an immature, petty child. Use
you
words.
please-
There's no need to just shoot. This is what
can you-
Breckers and I say all the time. Why do we always just pull out our guns and shoot?
Mickey, can you please do not patronize me and tell me how I should feel because she's young? This is now the 3rd time I've heard this, and it makes me uncomfortable. So can you please not use that as an argument?
Oh, and
She
if
is
I
of
use it
age.
as an argument,
She is
and
an
if I
adult.
press you too much of this on an argument, do I get shot as well? Where does it end? At what point is it too far? When do you draw the line of escalating from words to violence? That is the issue. It has nothing to do with January in this instance. It has been a core issue of the company. And not just you, many people. And it is that idea that me and Breckers do not agree with, that we have tried to stress. Is head pop?
Yeah, this.
That's horrible timing.
Yeah.